With the market crash being completely inevitable for the Pokemon market, I think I should share with y'all some tips on how y'all could save a lot of money if you're a collector or if you're a reseller. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, before I begin this video, let me just go ahead and state that these are my opinions and this is all what I would do if I were you guys trying to collect cards or sell your cards in this market that we are currently in. Now, for my first opinion, know what you own and why. Know what you own and why. Go through all of your cards that you have. Make sure you have a good list of everything. Use these apps. Take advantage of these apps like Collector and put in what you have. Make sure you know what you own and why. And what I mean by that, I know why I own some of these cards. And I actually have some here. For example, I have the Giratina V-Star, okay? I have this card simply because, and I'm not going to sell it. It's not going to be sold at all. And the reason for that, I opened this in a family opening for my birthday. I know I'm not going to sell it. Another card, the Psyduck. The Psyduck for 151. I know I'm not going to sell that. Why? Because my wife actually pulled it during that opening when we had the family opening. Psyduck's her favorite Pokemon. I know I'm not going to sell it. And also, I pulled a Demigod pack with the Squirtle, the Wartortle, and the Blastoise. I know I'm not going to sell those or get rid of them at all. Those are all very special to me, and I'm not going to be selling them. Now, there are some cards, though, that I know why I own them because I'm eventually going to try to sell them. Here's two examples right here. One is the Mew EX. This card, I feel, is going to go up in the future. Also, the Ceruledge EX from Surging Sparks, because I think that's going to go up in the future. And I know why I own it. And let me actually just give you guys an example here. Look at this. Right now, here's a Ceruledge on TCG Player. Right now, the card is going for $32.90 market. Look where it was about 6 months ago, back in early November. The card had a massive resurge. It was not looked at barely here in early November. It got up to $34, and then look at this. It hit a dip, a little 32, and then it went up to 35 at the max, and now it's back down to 32. I know this card is probably going to see a resurgence here later, and that's why I'm keeping it right now. And you guys can definitely benefit from knowing what you own and why you own it. Now, the second thing that I have to mention to y'all, second tip, consider buying the dip. Now, for a lot of y'all, that's going to be scary, especially collectors like me who don't have a lot of money and can't really invest all their money and time into this. I mean, hell, just consider buying it. And if you're a reseller, you definitely want to consider buying the dip, but you're also going to be taking a risk too. Because if you buy the dip and you're wrong and it continues to go down, that's going to be really bad for you. Now, as collectors, that is great for us, but you have to be willing to spend the money when the dip comes. I'm going to show you a prime example here. We've got the Charizard V alternate art from Brilliant Stars. This, in my opinion, is one of the best Charizard cards out there, and it has seen a massive surge here in the last few months. But I want to point out to y'all what happened about maybe a year ago. A year ago this time, it was at $100, okay? It then saw a huge surge to $135. But then look what happened once we got down to November. It went back down to $118. So you guys have to consider being able to buy that dip and knowing when to buy that dip and when you feel comfortable that it's going to get to a price where you can afford it. When it gets down to that price, go ahead and jump on it when you can. Because look what happened right here. It now has gone up to an insurmountable amount to 175 market, and look at the most recent sale. It went for over $200 at this point. And at some point, you just got to call it. You really do. You really have to call what you're going to be able to afford. I could have afforded this card back in November. I can't afford it now. It's just as simple as that, which I really think number 3, my third tip, is going to really help a lot of people, and that's just get a second opinion. Think about getting a second opinion from card shops, from these card vendors who go out every single week, and see what they think. They're not going to hold back a lot. I mean, most of these people, if you ask them, will give you an honest opinion. They really will, and they'll be really, really helpful. I got a lot of good opinions from all of these people at these card shops, one of which convinced me to buy a pack of 151 where it was, like the 6 booster pack 151 where it was. I ended up pulling the Charizard, the special illustration rare Charizard, which I hopefully I'm going to get back here because I sent it off to PSA. Hopefully we'll get a 10. But besides the fact, he convinced me to buy it when it was a decent price where I could afford it. I bought the thing for $50, for God's sakes. Now that those 6 booster packs, it's easily going to be $75, $80. And that there's not really going to be an end in sight in that. Which brings me to number 4. Make sure you focus on the long term. Focus on the long term. If you're looking to acquire a bunch of cards that you really, really want, focus on the long term and what is going to be the right moves for you. And I'm going to give you a prime example here. Let's go on to this card, and that's the Drowsy from the Scarlet and Violet base set. Anybody who got this card a year ago, they were only paying $5 for this card. Okay? Just think about that. There were hundreds of these that I saw. Hundreds of these on TCG Player for about $5 to $6. It did get up to about $10 in November, October-ish right here. And that was pretty normal. But anybody who held these cards is now laughing their way to the bank. Look where it got in February. It got up to $63 on TCG at the market. The most recent sale was $31, and I think it's going to stay right around the $30 range because there are so many examples of this card right now. It's a great card, don't get me wrong. I love like the Edgar Allan Poe kind of like vibey stuff, the Vincent van Gogh kind of Starry Night way the card is. And that's what gave this card its charm, in my opinion. But anybody who was able to hold this long term, they are, again, laughing all the way to the bank. And that's going to bring me to my 5th and final tip. Take advantage where you can. Take advantage. If you see a good deal, go ahead and grab it. I mean, hell, that Drowsy we were just on, there is currently a Japanese Drowsy for $14.75. There's currently an English Drowsy selling right now near mint for $30 on TCG. Take advantage where you can. If you see a deal of a card that you've not seen before, I'll give you an example. If you have seen a Giratina V-Star for sale for $150 and it is near mint to light play condition, take that deal every day. Take it. The market value is going to stay probably around $200. So if you see these deals, take them when you can. If you go into a Walmart and you see that they have packs at market value, take advantage of these deals. It's not going to kill you. It's not going to be the end of the world. And I really hope that everybody here in the Pokemon market is going to, at least, hell, I hope the Pokemon market's going to survive. And let's be honest, it's going to survive. Pokemon, they know what they are doing at that company. They all know we're going to buy this stuff. But I think we're all going to be okay in the end. Even if the market crashes, we're going to be fine. Thank you guys for joining me here today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure you leave a like. You leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And you also subscribe to the channel. I will see y'all in the next one.